and welcome to another episode of Chapter 9. I'm Christina Galvin, and I have the lovely Rachel Polanski with you. Yay. It is just the two of us today because we went on another field trip.
And it was so fun. We went to the cutest little village, Marcellus, and we went to the cutest little bookstore there, and we had such a great time that we wanted to take you guys along so you can see it too.
Oh, we had such a good time. And I never get out that way. And Rachel, you were saying the same thing. And I now have a reason because it was so cute. All right, why don't we just go?
We are here on this beautiful summery fall day, whatever season you want to call it. That's What She Read in Marcellus is the most adorable, beautifully decorated bookstore around.
This village is adorable. The outside of this bookshop is adorable. I can't wait to go inside, talk with one of the co-owners, and see what all the fuss is about. Okay, we are inside. That's What She Read. You got Chrissy and Rachel with you, and I'm so happy to be joined by Crystal Ponto.
Thank you.
You are the co-owner of That's What She Read.
I am.
First, tell me about the name. I just love the name of this store.
Well, it's kind of funny because we went back and forth. My business partner, Sue Keegan, and I, we were debating on what to name it. And we would always kind of reference The Office and say, that's what she said. And one day, Sue's husband, who I worked with for many years as a teacher, he said, well, why don't you just call it That's What She Read? And we were like, now we have to give him credit. But it totally fit our vibe. So that's how it kind of came to be.
Tell us about the bookstore itself. There are so many beautiful rooms, and you were just saying you're just growing from here. Just celebrated 2 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It was great. In fact, our initial spot was not supposed to be here, and the original place that we looked at, it kind of fell through at the 11th hour. And through social media, somebody reached out to the woman who owns this building and said, there's a bookstore looking for a spot, what do you think? And that same day, she reached out to us and said, do you want to come and look at the spot in Marcellus? Wow. And we had never really thought about Marcellus. We're both from the Camillus area. And so that day we came out and we signed the lease that day. And we just said, this is a vibe of a bookstore.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a great community. Yeah. It's a walkable, community with the village. And we have just been blessed for 2.5 years. It's been great.
Yeah, and talking about a vibe, it is such a vibe in here.
Thank you.
It's just cozy, it's comfortable. Talk about, what you're going for with the vibe around here.
So it's funny because everybody who comes into the store says, oh my gosh, everything is done with such intent here. And that's so sweet, but no. I mean, really, it was what we liked and what we felt and the vibe that we wanted for our shop. My business partner, Sue, and I went to many, many independent bookstores before we opened up here. And we knew what we wanted and we knew what we didn't. So it just kind of fell into place. And it's our happy place. So I feel like it's now become other people's happy place. So that's kind of it all fell. It all fell into place. It was beautiful.
That is awesome. And you have so many community outreach efforts that you've been working on. Just tell us, you were just mentioning before we started filming about the community outreach that you've been doing with veterans. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so when we first started, we knew we wanted to sell used and new books. And we really thought we would focus on used books. But it's actually become almost a 50-50 thing because we really looking to fulfill what our customers want. Sure. And a lot of them want, on this side of town, new books as well. We also take in book donations because when we first opened, we really weren't at a point to buy books. And people just said, we'll just give you books. Yeah. And we said, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So if you donate books to our shop, then we give you a 15% off coupon for a future visit. But we do get a lot of books, like bless James Patterson and Nora Roberts, but if they had a baby, it would be Tom Clancy. So we tend to get...
Wait, that is such a good line.
So that's what we usually tell people. So we tend to get a lot of books of a particular author. So we happened to speak with a customer, and she hooked us up with the Veterans Hospital. So usually about once a month, we pack up about 8 to 10 boxes to donate to them, and they're able to fill their carts for their patients. So that's awesome. Super great. We also have customers who will take book donations from us for local nursing homes, and we always are donating to schools. We donate to Van Gogh, which is in Cicero. We have donated to them before, and we're always looking to find homes for books because we just don't want them to end up in a landfill.
Of course.
And you mentioned new and used books, which I think is really important because some people really love to read, but it can be expensive to buy bestsellers. They could be $30 for a hardcover book. Talk about how you target all different price points.
In most cases, how we've arranged the stores, anything on the walls is used, anything on the floor is new. Most of our paperbacks are $4 or $6, and most of our hardcovers are $6 to $8. Some of the super new paperback hardcovers we might charge $10 for. But we try to keep it reasonable, especially knowing that people have donated books into us. And, you know, we want to be able to give back to be able to say our prices are pretty reasonable. We also don't sell anything at the manufacturer's suggested retail price. So even our new books, we try to keep $1 or $2 at least below that cost. So we don't always have the newest books, just because before I started, I thought I really had a handle on how many books there were in the world and what a voracious reader I was. Nope, not at all. So there are a lot of books in this world. And the great thing is there's a lot of booksellers too. And I think we like to be supportive of our fellow booksellers that are in the area and, you know, that kind of thing. So if there is a niche bookstore that we can always support, we'll do shout outs for them too, for our customers, like, hey, check out this bookstore, because it's a great community and I think we all tend to support each other. So
Chris, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit, because Rachel and I did a quick lap around here. I said, I want this book. And I would say, oh, I didn't know she had this author, you know? So if you come down here, you will definitely see an array of books. And just going off of that, you're also a boutique too. So you have a lot of stuff that's not book related. Let's just say you drag your not so loving book lover here, you know, because there's always that one friend that's like, I'll just watch the movie. You have a lot of really cute stuff just lying in the walls. Tell us about how you collect those things. Obviously, it's been years in the making, I'm sure, just, you know, finding really cute stuff around. Talk about that.
It's basically what I like. Or what Sue likes. So Sue and I usually once a month we go on sourcing trips. And we'll go to different antique places and you know, different parts in our state, out of state, and we just buy what we like. And we also, in 2.5 years, we kind of know what our customers like. And we just love decor and we love to shop. We also have a room that we sell, we call them gently loved clothes, because, you know, thrifting and vintage is such a huge thing right now. So that's super fun. So we often have customers who will come in and leave with a pair of sweatpants. They're like, I came to the bookstore, I bought a pair of sweatpants.
That's so neat.
So that's kind of fun.
And that brings me to my next question, is that each room has its own kind of theme going on. There's a really cute children's room. Like, talk about, you know, the different rooms and different themes. And you even mentioned that you recently expanded. You didn't always have all of these rooms.
Yeah, when we first opened, we only had the first 3 rooms of the store, which was basically a fiction room, the vintage classic room, and a kids room. And then when those businesses moved out, our landlord was generous enough to say, yeah, you can expand back. So we now have the whole first floor. When you walk into the store, you come into our fiction room. And then as you continue on, we have we call it our cash wrap room, but we have vintage classics and we have a spice cabinet. So if you like your reading a little spicy, we have a cabinet just for the spice. And then we have a kids room.
Wait, I love that you call it spice cabinet.
Well,
it's so clever. It's like, oh, they've got food here too.
Is that cookbooks? No.
No, anything but
spicy reads. And it started out as an actual cabinet, but we realized our customers really liked it and the door literally fell off the cabinet. So we had to upgrade to like a big giant.
Good pivot though. Good pivot. Very clever.
So the days of 50 Shades are no more because it's gotten way spicier than that. So that's a fun cabinet that we have set aside. We have the kids room. This room is our nonfiction room. And then our back room is where all of our clothing and gently used finds are.
I'm sure it's like a child where you can't pick a favorite, but do you have a favorite room?
I probably, even though I'm not a huge nonfiction reader, I love this room. It's just got a vibe in here. I love it. We also have all of our local authors displayed in here too, which we love to support our local authors. So that's really fun. And I do love the kids room because it's just a happy place.
And then what about like events and stuff, you know, for people? I feel like there's always like fun things going on in the community, and people could come anytime, but are there any like fun things you guys are taking part in that you'd want people to know about or anything like that?
Yeah, we're members of the Marcellus Chamber of Commerce, which we now call Marcellus Together. So we're really trying to bring a lot of energy to the village. So that's really fun. Halloween this year is going to be a mega fun. We're going to be decorating the store to look like Hogwarts. And the whole village is going to be decorated. We're going to have people walking around in costume and passing out candy and all sorts of stuff to support local vendors and brick and mortar businesses. We do author events that you can follow through social media on Instagram and Facebook with us. We have a tarot card reading coming up near Halloween. We have some local authors that will come in and do meet and greets with customers. So we do have a lot of fun stuff that happens here in Marcellus, because a lot of people come and say, wow, Marcellus is like a happening place now, and we're really happy to be part of that.
Oh yeah, I was so excited when she told me this was in Marcellus. I don't get out here enough, and every time I do, I'm like, it's so adorable. I have to get back here.
It really is.
Worth the drive.
Yeah, we have some great local businesses. We got a coffee shop right down the street, Gretchen's Confections. We have some great restaurants. We've got a new restaurant that just opened up, Stone Creek, down the way. That's just a beautiful restaurant, has gotten great reviews. We've just got fun stuff like the Village Tavern down the road that we do collabs with and things like that. So really, really fun place.
That is awesome. And it sounds like the opportunities are endless. But Crystal, I just want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And you know what we're going to be doing once we hit cut, because we're going to be doing a couple of laps or two.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Rachel, I just want to go back.
I know, it's so fun.
When we tell you that we would have spent the rest of our workday there, Rachel, you only had a couple hours left at that point. But
Yeah. And we each bought books.
yes, we did.
And then we also, the owner was so sweet, she also gave us little blind date
She would
books.
not let us leave without one of these.
Yeah.
And mind you, too, this is how they wrap them for everyone.
How
so
cute.
if you're even thinking about a nice gift, and some of their gently used books, I bought one of them for $4.
I bought one for $6.
Right.
Yep.
So talk about an awesome day. Even if you go with kids and the kid finds a book that you
Yep.
like, you're not going to be breaking the bank.
And you saw they had that great little kids section.
yeah.
So
absolutely.
let's open
Yeah, I know
them
we've
up.
been
see.
dying to give this a try.
The unboxing. Okay. I got, drumroll, The Library of Lost and Found
Oh,
by
cool.
Phaedra Patrick.
Also, too, they put what is this that they put on this? What's the flower?
Oh, lavender.
Lavender, because it smells amazing.
I know, it smells so good.
I also got the
fun.
Library Lost and
Nice.
Found. That's cool.
Yeah, I've never heard
Maybe
of
it's
this.
inspiration for one of our next books.
Yeah,
she
there you
probably wants us to
go.
read it. That'd be kind of cool.
That is really cool. I don't even know when is it. Let's see, when is it from? I think it's relatively new-ish. It looks like 2019.
Okay.
Cool.
Ooh, it's a mystery. Martha discovers a clue inside of a book that her best friend, who passed away under mysterious circumstances years ago, may still be alive.
Oh,
Oh, that's our bread and butter.
all right.
Determined to discover the truth, Martha delves into the past and unwittingly reveals a long-buried secret that will change your life forever. All right, I'm hooked.
All right. Yeah, if you read it, let us know what you think.
We'll add it to the queue.
Yeah, add it to our queue. We do have one. Hey, and if you have any ideas and you want us to read a certain book or you want to read a certain book, send it to us because we
Yes.
want to get you all involved.
Our
so.
Instagram page, our Facebook page. Rachel just started the Instagram page. It's already
Yeah.
getting a lot of interaction, which has been really cool. I love that. So our latest book that we're going to be talking about today is one book that we revisited. We've been a little busy here, so we figured we'd go back to a classic of mine, for Rachel. It is, let me bring this up,
Yeah.
The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. So Frida and Colleen Hoover are the two women that brought me back into reading because they are pretty easy to read or listen to. When I started listening to their audiobooks, I realized that the characters are super easy to follow on audiobooks. I listened to The Tenant as my first audiobook, and it was very easy to follow along. I had a feeling that Colleen Hoover was going to be the same. I started listening to her. Rachel, you listened to The Boyfriend?
I did.
And you could start. I'll leave it on a good note with mine. You gave it 2 stars, I want to say.
I gave it 2 stars. I am not a fan of Frida. I love that she brought you back into reading, so
Yes.
that's brownie points there. She is just not my cup of tea.
Fair.
I really don't like any Frida books. I will say I feel like The Housemaid is my favorite of them. I've given a few a
Yes.
chance. I've read The Teacher, read The Boyfriend. I just feel like there's not enough character development. Like there's plot holes. I don't like the writing. I feel like the writing is very juvenile. Like
Fair.
in this book, it's like when it's just like what she thinks like girls would talk about. Like when you're talking about the boyfriend, and she's like, and he's a doctor, and she's like, Dr. McHattie. I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah, it does
That's just
get cringe.
It's a little cringy.
But before we get too off topic,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring us off topic because you brought
Yeah.
up The Housemaid. Have you seen any of the trailers yet?
So Kate sent it to me. She's also excited about it.
Yes.
Yes, it looks really good.
I think they are similar to what's Colleen Hoover's famous It Ends With Us.
Yes.
I feel like they are also, and I'm just going off the trailer, like making it a little lighter than it was intended to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the anybody that's read the book, if they picture that attic, when you look at the trailer, I'm like, that's way nicer than what the attic makes it look like. They made it look so girly and bright. I was thinking like a dungeon upstairs.
Yes,
you know?
agreed.
So,
but I feel like they nailed it with when they first said that Amanda Seyfried was going to be that character. I'm forgetting her name now. Nina.
Yes.
I was like, how is she so like cute and pretty, and like how are they gonna do this? And in the trailer, like I don't know, I do think it kind of works. So we'll see.
I am
see, right?
curious.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is coming out in December for anybody that's curious. But I do think that this is the movement where these books are starting to pick up, and we're going to expect a lot more TV shows and movies based on these, because there's clearly like a big renaissance of, adult readers now.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Hollywood for getting in on that.
No, I love it. There's definitely a resurgence going on, like we've been talking about.
It is.
So it's really cool. But you liked this book. I think you gave
I gave
four
it 4
stars.
stars.
Yeah.
I really, really liked the twist at the end. I wasn't seeing it coming. I couldn't figure out what, Tom's real role was until we figure out, what his relationship is and how, like, you just expect him to just be the bad guy. And then, without giving too much away, when we come back, let's kind of dive into the boyfriend. Ready to dive into one of Rachel's favorite books of all time, The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. No, I'm just kidding. Like we said in the beginning, it wasn't her favorite, and she may talk me down into giving it from 4 stars to 3 stars.
Or who knows, maybe you'll talk me up
We'll
from
try.
2 to 3.
We'll do our best. Let's start out with the main character, Sydney. What would your overall thoughts of Sydney's view of dating? Remember, it's New York City. Yeah. Anybody that has a friend or family member in New York City knows that it's tough goings out there. My initial thought was, oh, this poor girl. But she kind of doesn't help herself out.
I know. She's not the most likable character to me. But no, my sister lives in LA, and she has shared some horror stories of dating as well. I haven't been in the dating world in a while. I've been married for a decade. But I don't envy the dating world and stories I hear right now with all of the apps and some of these people you meet and catfishes, and it is just crazy. I re-listened yesterday because I had read this book months ago. I re-listened to the first few chapters and the last few chapters. Yeah. And how they paint out, what is his name? Oh my God, Kevin.
That was honestly one of the scenes that got me hooked for this book.
Oh God.
Because it was so funny. They're like, she was basically like, I am looking at a catfish right now. And so he's horrible. And honestly,
I'm like, just leave, girl. Just leave.
Years and years ago, I had a date from an online website. He was fine, but the behaviors on a first date are so funny. I actually had someone, we went to a hibachi restaurant, and he's like, all right, we're gonna split the bill now. Like, okay. And then he expected me to join him later that evening. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I can relate to having those expectations, and then you kind of feel bad for it. But he becomes awful.
Yeah.
That
character.
is, for that point, that crosses a line of
That's one thing I don't like about Frida. There's a lot of things. Is she either makes the character the most the hottest, most amazing character, or the most disgusting character. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
It's either Kevin or Tom or whatever it might be.
And Kevin almost didn't really fit.
I know.
This.
I think he was a red herring, right? He was trying to throw you off a little bit.
You're expecting him to turn into somebody awful. And then what'd you think? Because sometimes you either love this or hate this, picking up on your reading pattern. The story switches from Sydney to Tom's timelines. Did you like this?
I didn't mind that. I was okay with that.
I thought it was kind of cool that when you went to Tom's point of view, it was from the past mostly until it catches up to the future.
Totally.
I thought that was really cool. You're
I was
learning
okay with
through Tom's misfit life and him falling in love with Daisy.
Sure.
She's the girl that he's wanted for his entire being. And you meet his best friend Slug, and you kind of wonder where
Another
Slug
like
fits
disgusting
in.
character.
Yes.
Like, why do they make him so gross? Like,
And then Daisy's best friend was kind of weary of him.
yeah.
I just thought that was really interesting how they brought it up, and then you end up meeting.
Yeah, I
Tom,
didn't
who
mind
is
that.
the boyfriend.
Yeah, I did not mind that.
Yeah.
And I don't mind, and I like the double POVs, and I even
Me too.
liked the production value was good. Like I liked both the audio actors, the woman and the man, because we've had in the past too where it's like a woman reading both genders, and that's
Yes.
always that can be tough.
Right.
So I liked the voice narrating.
Me too.
In
I
this
appreciate it when it's very clear cut who the character is. When
Yeah.
it's, going back to the gifted school, that was really tough to follow because there were so many characters, and you were just supposed to hope that you understood that was who was speaking. They did a pretty decent job of explaining it, but even if you zoned out for a second, you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
With Frida's, you could zone out for 10 minutes and still know what's going on. I feel
Right.
like she's more like, it's like following a sitcom versus a dramedy, It's,
Yeah, yeah.
It's
true.
even though her stuff's supposed to be serious because it's scary and murder-like, it's still very easy to follow.
Yes. Very true.
Okay, so let's talk about the twist. I kind of, in a weird way, I was envious of that little friend group that Sydney had going on. They'd go to yoga
Yeah.
together. They had that one girl that's also trying to look for love.
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she dates Tom first.
Yeah.
And you think that, okay, it has to be Tom. That's the murderer. And then the twist.
Yeah.
What was Daisy's pseudonym? Was it Gretchen?
Gretchen.
Okay, there
Yeah,
we go.
Gretchen.
Apologies, guys. I did not refresh
It's
the
been
names.
Yeah, and it's been a couple months for you, or a
But-
few couple weeks.
Yes, but this book did stand out to me because of that reason. And then Tom is like, Daisy, no. And, you just think you're like, poor Gretchen. She's just lowering her standards by
Yeah.
being with Randy. And, well, she
Yeah.
was just using Randy. And then I just thought it was so strange at the end, though. It went 0 to 100 villain.
I know.
Let's
I know.
just start drugging Randy and
Yes,
let's
that's
just
true.
kill him.
Yeah, they didn't.
It felt a little rushed.
It wasn't a slow burn, and
No,
that
it
yeah,
wasn't.
it was like it was 0 to 100.
It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And sometimes that's how I'll even describe her books is like they're like a bad car crash you can't look away from, because it like you do get hooked, but I'm like I don't think I like this though, but it was a good twist. I didn't see that twist coming, so
Yes. So that was probably what stopped you from giving it 1 star, I'd say.
yeah, that was a good twist.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I liked the twist, but I didn't see it coming. So
Another thing I thought was weird was Tom ended up, despite having his murder wants, he was a good guy. Like he didn't
sort
wanna-
of, but then he's like, okay, I'll run off with you, Daisy,
Yeah, he
if
ends
it
up picking
means
her, but we're not gonna kill.
bad people.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
And
That
then
was
the whole
weird
Kevin
too.
thing. But they let Sydney go.
Yeah.
So I guess at the end you're almost like, oh, I guess I should be thankful for that. You know?
Yeah, but they paint him as though like okay, so he's not the villain, but then
Yeah.
he's gonna still run off with Daisy. Like why didn't he turn her in or kill her or I don't know. I'm like
a lot of these. Have you read Never Lie?
no.
Okay, so that's another one of those books with a similar, not to give too much away, but it's
Yeah.
a very similar feeling there,
Yeah.
where you expect here's the right thing, and then there's just oh, evil,
Yeah.
and then that's Frida's side, where she's like, got him. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good twist, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel totally finished. I feel like they could have done more there. I don't know. Trying to think. And then the very end, they send Sydney the lock of Kevin's hair,
Yes,
right? Because they killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a decent twist
Yeah.
too, or just a nice. I guess that's the bow. That's the bow on the book
I
there.
could see this doing really well as a cheaply filmed
Yeah.
murder mystery.
Yeah, like a
the,
Hallmark
the chopped
style.
up body of Bonnie. When that became a thing, I was like, oh God.
I know.
And then his love of blood, Tom's love of blood.
I know.
I was just like, okay.
That was also just too much. So it doesn't Frida have a medical background?
Yes.
So
I think she was a doctor of some sort,
because she
so-
goes into such detail on that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
how Sydney had that that illness that
Yes.
makes her bleed a lot
Yeah.
and stuff. And like when Tom's like looking at it, he's like, I can see the carotid
Yes.
artery
Yep,
moving.
someone's throat and stuff. And then one thing that I did find interesting as kind of a subplot was Tom's relationship with his dad. Do you remember that at all?
That it was like
with
the alcoholic dad or something.
Yeah, that abuses his mother.
Yeah.
And I think that he was trying to, or Frida was trying to give him a backstory of why he thinks the way he does, you know, and has those tendencies with his dad being violent. And, you know, his dad, from what we gathered, was not a murderer, but had violent tendencies and took it out on his mother and, like, to be in control and had narcissistic tendencies.
Right.
And you just see this, like, while he loves his mother, he loses respect for her for putting up with that, but at the same time, they make the father look really, really scary.
Yeah.
And then you find it super interesting to see how Slug's just like, meh, let's take care of it.
Yeah.
Like you're not sure if you want to root for Slug
yeah.
or think like, I don't know. I
know.
thought the whole situation with hiding the father's body was very interesting and a weird way of incorporating why Slug has that feeling too. I was expecting Slug to either be Randy or Kevin.
Yeah, I did
Like,
too.
I thought, like she just
I thought she was like setting it up
yes,
for that.
but nope, just
Yeah.
like he dies.
Yeah.
You know?
It was I thought she was setting it up for that too.
But Daisy ends up killing him and
Yeah.
and then I will give some credit. I thought that was an interesting way to find out that Daisy ends up being like
Yeah.
murderous, like homicidal.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting like, oh gosh, Slug is gonna kill Daisy, but then the other way around, he's like, oh, it was self-defense, but really it was set up by Daisy that, you know.
No, that's true. That was a good twist too. No, you're bringing up good points. Something else we haven't jumped into was Jake, the ex-boyfriend of Sydney, and how like
I wanted to
moving
like
the story
him.
forward. I was kind of just like, ugh, I don't know.
She ends up going back to Jake.
and then she goes back to him.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that
No.
subplot either. Did you like that subplot?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of unrealistic. You can't really, like, he all of a sudden now wants to make time for her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you almost died. I should have maybe have given you a little bit more time in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been, like, thoroughly involved with the police officer, so I don't
Yeah.
know what their schedule's like. I do know it's,
Sure.
you know, crazy hours, and NYPD, they, you know.
And he's a
have-
detective and
right.
all of that. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to say it's completely unrealistic, but I did think it was interesting, like, he's just like, oh, I know what I lost now, and you almost got chopped up to pieces by this crazy girl, you know?
I know. I don't know.
I don't trust your boyfriend, but I'm
Yeah.
actually jealous. So, you know, I could see this being turned into a movie with all these different plot twists.
Yeah, like a really corny, cheaply made movie.
And they'll probably stick Sydney Sweeney in again.
Yeah, why not? She'll just become the new.
Yeah, she'll just be the Frida lady.
all of Frida's movies. Yeah, like again, like I would rate it similarly to like The Teacher. Like this, I feel like this is how I felt after I read The Teacher too.
For me, that
Like-
was a bigger plot twist because that was one of my first Frida books. I was really shocked by that one. No spoilers,
Yeah.
but that one really, besides the turtle thing.
Yeah, that one too, though, like I didn't really like it. Like it was a good twist, but I didn't really like it. Whereas at least with the Housemaid series, like I enjoyed
Yes.
it more.
I
It was a
was
good twist
super
and I
hooked.
enjoyed it.
I was super hooked on that book,
Like
especially
if-
the first
Like
one.
if they did a series of this or a series of The Teacher, I wouldn't read it, I don't think.
I don't blame you.
I
That
think-
was a one and done.
Yeah.
Just similar to The Boyfriend. The Boyfriend
Yeah.
was kind of, it was like scraping at the bottom
Yeah.
of the barrel for that one. She's definitely had better books.
And I almost feel like she, like, because she puts out so many, it's like they can't all be
Yes.
winners. Like
She's- yeah.
she's like, what does she do, 1 or 2 a year?
Yes.
Yeah, she's so. And again, they're good popcorn reads. Like
are.
I'm always
I'll
hooked.
continue to read them.
Yeah,
so
I probably
say,
will,
I
too.
say what I, you know, the underwhelming, but it will get me to
Yeah,
do this.
It's the bad car crash you can't look away from.
Yes. I probably didn't sway you at all, right?
Well, maybe I don't know. You touched on the twists and stuff. That's true.
Maybe we meet at a
Maybe I'm like
3.
yeah. Okay.
We'll meet at a
yeah.
3.
Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go.
Yeah, that was good.
Call it a day.
Yeah, no regrets reading it though, because I was one of those ones that I very much wanted to, see what happened at the end.
True.
And it takes me a lot to give up on a book. And this one, I was never close to saying, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
Kudos
Yeah.
to Frida for always keeping her books, even if the ending was like, oh, okay, still keeping you going.
Yeah. Yeah.
She always has that. That just keeps luring me in. So let's kind of move on to another book that we are beginning to read. We kind of got started on it, and it is a long one, so you'll catch up quick once you get going. It is called With a Vengeance by Riley Sager, I want to say. Sager. I read a couple of their books. Pretty good. He's got a he or she? He. I never know. I don't really look into authors too much unless it's like one that I know will be a one that I can't look away from, like Frida or Colleen. But here's the description. A 1950s set locked room mystery about Anna Matheson, who lures 6 people responsible, in her eyes anyway, for her family's ruin on a luxury train in Chicago. And then here's the twist. When one of the passengers is murdered, Anna must shift from seeking revenge to protecting her enemies to find the real killer and survive the journey, all while a storm rages outside. That part made me laugh. I'm like,
Dun,
oh
dun,
no,
dun.
not the rain.
I think it's gonna be snow, but
Snow?
yeah. I think just based on like how they've set it up. I started it.
Yes, each of us are a couple of chapters in because we wanted to be able to kind of give you a little preview and our thoughts so far.
And we're both not crazy about it so far.
Not yet,
But it may. But you never know. Slow burn and all that.
Yeah.
And what was I just gonna say? Yeah, lots of point of views you can expect.
Yes.
We thought this would be a good one for Halloween.
Yeah.
It kind of has that
Dun, dun,
vibe.
dun.
Exactly. And Clue. It gets given off Clue vibes for me. So we'll see where that goes. That's kind of like my, I guess, teaser.
Yeah, and anybody that likes kind of the old-timey, again, it's in the 1950s.
Yeah.
It does kind of give you, like, a blast to the past.
Yeah, it's got some
feel.
historical fiction
Yeah.
elements.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, they do bring up the Holocaust, not too graphically, just kind of giving it a time and understanding, what American culture was like at that time, given the, tensions around the world. It was, it's interesting in that aspect. I very much like historical type books. But right now, you are going to learn a lot about the characters right away. Just try not to tune out when it does get very descriptive, because I have a feeling that those descriptions will be crucial for later.
Yeah.
But overall, we'll see it through. I have a feeling that it'll be one of those books that pick up about halfway.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
with
faith
you.
with it. But this was fun. I kind of enjoyed going back to a book, and if you have any books that are your favorites that you recommend that we give a try, or even if we did read it, I'd be happy to, go back to it and discuss it. And I would definitely recommend giving That's What She Read a visit.
Yes.
They
So
were
cute.
we had to at least speak to one of the owners, and she was awesome. So give it a stop. I think they are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, but they should be open Wednesdays through Sundays. So a great weekend stop.
And they have lots of fun things happening in the fall.
Yes, I was just gonna say around that time they say that they do a lot of stuff in the Halloween time. They decorated it super cute for the fall. So give it a try. Rachel, your final thoughts?
Go visit Marcellus, and that's what she said. That's what she read.
Well, to be fair, it was based on That's What She Said, because they were friends, or they were big fans of The Office, and it was one of their husbands. I thought that story was so
my gosh,
funny.
that was so
and it
funny.
was their husband that came up with it.
And
Like,
she's
great,
like,
now I gotta give him
"Why?"
credit.
Yeah, so good.
That's what she said. That's what she read. We'll say all the things.
Yeah. There you go.
And we said all the things today. So thanks for reading Beyond the Prompter with us. See you next time.